It's Thursday now. 'Tis indeed. Look at this place. Wow. I guess it just immediately starts here. Look at freaking Morgana there.
No wonder Lady Anne chose this place.
Of course it's good. This is a famous hotel after all. Oh yeah, I heard that the police are coming to interview some people at school.
That's troublesome.
Our names are gonna come up for sure. People are spreading all sorts of rumors about us in Kamoshida. But we got him pumped up. I keep hearing stuff like, the Phantom Thieves really stole his heart. I think most people don't believe it, but some of them actually seem grateful. Look at this.
Look at this
Phantom
graph.
Aficionado website? Well done, Phantom Thieves. Now I can keep going too. Thank you for giving us.
We're gonna become influencers?
Pretty cool, huh?
I was
What
just
is this
desperate
video
to deal
game?
with my own problems, but seeing people saying all this feels strange.
Yeah. Hey, what do we do now?
We good on time?
Huh? Oh crap, you're totally right! We only got an hour to eat!
Just 50 minutes left!
I'm not gonna finish all the beef dishes at this pace!
I need to eat my way through the entire dessert menu!
Look after our stuff. We'll snag something for you guys too, don't worry. Oh man, God melts in my mouth.
Seriously? Only meat?
Now, where should I start?
And she's all about the cake.
So happy!
Hey, calories.
Shut up! How much do you think one of these costs? I'll never get the chance to do this again! The Wilton Hotel Cake Buffet! I'd heard rumors, but I never thought it'd be so amazing!
And where's our share?
I didn't really know what you'd want, so I just grabbed you some beans.
What?
Beans?
There
Beans!
were some pretty bizarre things there too, so we got you a variety of those. Fried bananas, preserved eggs, and some kind of beans.
Some kind of...
More beans?
We put so much on the plate that it got all mixed up. But it should probably still taste good.
This is just plain grotesque. Let's go. These two just don't know what fine dining means. We'll show them.
Leave it to me.
That's reassuring. You guys watch our things while we're gone. Wait patiently for our return.
Oh, it's like a meaty explosion in my mouth.
Oh, this part's cream cheese!
They're not even listening. As I'd expect from the buffet at a top-class hotel, the ingredients and variety of dishes are crazy good. There's a reason it costs 8,000 yen. They have a lot here, but fish should come first. Let's fill our plate with all sorts of fish. Which table do you think they're at?
I don't know, a freaking seafood table or something? Also, 8,000 yen! That's expensive. My goodness gracious. Rice dishes, so I'm going to get... The new objective is get some fish. Fish dishes. But yeah, anyway, when it comes to situations like Bayonetta and stuff, this is something that we talked about during, I think a little bit during one of the Persona streams, where it's like, I really like the smidge of Platinum Games stuff that I've done before. I look forward to the upcoming other Platinum Games stuff that we'll be doing on this channel. Like, we'll be doing Nier Automata later this year, for example. And I've always been, like, super impressed with, you know, the quality of stuff they put out. If I wasn't a content creator, Bayonetta is absolutely the kind of thing that I'd play and probably get really into. But, you know, while I'll play M-rated things, I usually don't try to do ones that pride themselves on how far they can go over the line. It's funny, we were having that discussion as Persona here was doing some very questionable things, and it's like, oh, well, I was going into Persona blind here, and it's gone some interesting ways, huh? So maybe it'll cause me to rescind that statement of not doing things that are too much over the line, because it seems like Persona might actually be doing that in some regards. So considering some of the ways that this has gone. But yeah, I think that, you know, the Bayonetta games would probably be really fun. So, maybe one day, honestly, but, you know, I've got so many other things going on right now, is the case, that if I ever do properly consider it, it wouldn't be for a while. I think it would need to be a time that I have a lot of space in the schedule, and I really feel like playing some platinum content. So, it's possible. I'd probably still be leaning more towards playing other things than that, so it probably wouldn't be super high on the priority list because of that, but I won't say it's completely out of the question. That's the thing.
Look, there's the fish.
But other things that pride themselves on how far they can go over the line, like Grand Theft Auto, probably aren't gonna... maybe I shouldn't say, like, no guarantees and stuff like that either. It's just probably not.
That teacher at Shujin Academy caught doing such indecent acts.
I don't think that there's basically
Shameful,
any
really.
game
Hold on a
that's
sec.
completely
And they
off
still
the
haven't
table,
managed to
unless
solve
it's,
those
you know,
horrible psychotic
you know,
breakdown episodes,
unless it goes
have
into,
they?
you know,
Ugh, I wish
territory
they'd
of, like,
let
adults
themselves
only
get
kind of thing.
distracted by such a
Obviously.
tawdry
Obviously, we'd never do
scandal.
anything like that.
Perhaps it's a sign of
But
how
everything
peaceful
else,
this
it's like-
country is. I honestly pity those
Probably
poor Shujin
is possible,
students, though.
just, you know, would feel less inclined to
Sounds
do
like the
the,
Kamoshida incident is the talk of
ones
the
that,
town.
you know, go really far over the line, you know.
Shoot, they
That's
noticed
the
you.
case.
Just grab some food.
I
and
did
eat
watch
it.
all the
On
cutscenes of
plus
Bayonetta
side,
3, though,
we'll get
is the
to
thing.
eat
I just
them
recently
later.
got through them all. I figured because I wasn't streaming it and because I wasn't playing it,
How did a
I would just
child
watch
like
all the
this
cutscenes
end up in
and
here?
experience the story.
I
And I've watched some
certainly
streamer
hope you
friends
didn't
of
bring
mine,
friends.
like,
I prefer
playing
my
it, so
meals to
I have a
remain
little bit of an
gluten
idea of how the
free.
gameplay works.
Thank you very
But I just
much.
recently finished watching all the cutscenes, and I don't know how I feel about the ending. Like, I mean, do I really want to talk about this here? It kind of goes into spoiler territory. So maybe I won't say anything that, like, constitutes spoilers in that case, just in case anyone's actually tuning into it somewhere else. But just generally how I feel about the ending is, without spoilers, is it felt like... What kind of game can I compare it to? It felt like a lot of things were happening without really rhyme or reason at the end. Where it's like, things are going great for the heroes. Oh, things are going awful for the heroes. Oh, things are going great for the heroes because of this new thing that's happening. Oh, things are going awful for the heroes because that one good thing that just came out of nowhere, it's not actually good enough to have them prevail. Oh, but here's this other good thing that just started happening that's gonna be the new thing that has the heroes prevail. Oh, no, get pranked again. It turns out it's not good enough and they're not doing so great anymore. Just a whole bunch of back and forth like this that made me not be able to take it too seriously. I understand that they tried to go for a lot of elements in the finale that would be a lot of longtime fans hyped and stuff, and I have seen the cutscenes of the prior two games, so, you know, seeing things kind of come together in the way that it did, you know, could be kind of satisfying, but I just feel like the execution of it wasn't all that great. Maybe it would have been better executed had I actually played and experienced the whole game myself, but I just personally feel like the execution was a little bit off. And the final way that ended, and the final fate of Bayonetta, I'll just say, felt like it kind of came a little bit out of nowhere. It felt like one of those, oh gosh dang it, what was some, there was some plot recently, I think it was in a game, where I felt like things were just happening for the sake. It was Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It felt like Xenoblade Chronicles 3, where things were happening, not because they were gonna happen as a consequence of the actions of the heroes and as a result of the story, but just because that's the way the story needed to go. The finale of Bayonetta 3 felt to me like so much of the story of Xenoblade 3, where it's like, yep, things are gonna turn out this way, just because that's a specific way that we want the story to go, not because it seemed like that was naturally what this was leading up to, is the impression that I got. You know, I'm not a long-time Bayonetta fan or anything like that, so, you know, I'm not exactly a long-time player of the series that's gonna know the ins and outs, so, you know, I could be completely misanalyzing it there. But, from what I saw of the cutscene and stuff, that's my little mini review of Bayonetta 3's finale, spoiler-free. If anyone wants to hear it, like, with spoilers, I can talk about it in Discord, just in case anyone's, you know, still, you know, working on that game. Because, you know, it's still a pretty recent release, I'll refrain from spoilers on stream. Just remembered a video by Digital Foundry expressed some criticism of the Switch port of Persona 5. Apparently this version of the game has weaker anti-aliasing than the PS4 version. I mean, that's probably not too surprising though, right?
What's so bad about kids coming to enjoy a buffet?
I don't know, maybe it's the fact that these kids started talking about Bayonetta 3 right in front of these random people's faces.
Let's get some more food and listen in.
You know?
Maybe there are more people we can eavesdrop on at other tables.
Also, the main antagonist, and one other thing I want to say about Bayonetta 3. There's a few things that I could talk about its story now that I've seen all the cutscenes. Who it turned out that the antagonist was, throughout most of the story, you don't really know who the main antagonist is. You speak with them a few times, but, you know, they're just like a wispy apparition version of themselves that's doing this weird interdimensional thing where it's like, you don't actually know who they are until close to the finale. And when it turned out who it was, I just had a major feeling of like, wow, I totally didn't see that coming. It was like the one possible candidate person it could have possibly been. Wow, that sure is surprising. I totally didn't see it coming. So, I don't know. That felt really weak to me as well. I thought that there was a, let's pretend to get some food. Giant dessert nearby. Oh, do I need to do this? Yeah, giant dessert. There were definitely some aspects that I liked about the plot. The cutscenes were freaking fantastic, for example. The cutscenes were really beautiful. Like, when I make my Scarlet and Violet essay down the line and I'm comparing it to, you know, the performance and graphics of other games on the Switch and cutscenes and stuff, I will absolutely draw on Bayonetta 3. The cutscenes and presentation, honestly, top notch. Those were really, really good. I really like that. What else can I say here generally about the plot? It seemed cool how there was like different sections and different play styles with Bayonetta, Viola, and Jean. That seemed pretty cool. I wouldn't know because I didn't play it, but it seemed pretty cool at least. And different styles.
I got
stuff.
distracted.
The smidges I've heard about the music have been fantastic. I still have yet to find the full soundtrack on YouTube.
All over the internet. You know,
So I haven't looked in a
the
while.
story about how Kamoshida got his ass kicked by some world.
But I'm really looking forward to tuning into the full
It
OST.
doesn't sound like a serious story to me. Some of the details are pretty far-fetched.
Don't worry about it. We just
All
have
the
to
different
do
types
what
of
they tell us
weapons
to
seem
do.
pretty
It's all
cool.
rumors made up by
Just seen
school
from like
kids anyway.
cutscenes and stuff.
If it's gripping news, who cares if it's not true?
So they don't believe themselves. But they're making up stories to make the Phantom Thieves seem real. And they're doing this in front of the actual Phantom Thieves.
Yeah, crazy, huh?
Whoa, act fast and get some food!
Yeah,
And
I'm
make
grabbing
sure
some
it's
food.
got a lot of whipped cream.
Oh, I hate whipped cream. It's gross. Fight me.
What's wrong?
Nothing. I thought some weird kid was
I
looking
actually
at us.
really don't
That's
like
all.
whipped cream.
Why don't we go? It's almost time for the meeting.
All right, they're
Well,
out of
that
here.
was rude. Did you hear him? He said you were weird.
Some of the summons were really
I
cool
wonder
as
how
well.
the other people here are
Again,
reacting
most
to
of my
this.
experience was through cutscenes
get
rather
some
than
food and
gameplay,
listen
so
in.
I don't know how well each of them worked in gameplay per se. But this one probably isn't too spoilery to say because it happens like before even the midway point that this is unlocked as a summon. But one of the ones that you get is this freaky like demon train that is able to fly through the skies and has all kinds of crazy weapons in its arsenal. From, you know, rail guns that it pulls out to saw blades that'll come out along one side of the train as it like drives alongside an enemy and grinds them up. It's so cool. So things like that I thought were honestly hella cool. I do have to say. Listen, some meat dishes nearby. Well, how do I grab them here? Okay, meat dishes like that.
Meat.
So
I'm no Ryuji,
there are some
but a
really
meal
cool
is
aspects
just
like
not
that.
the same if you don't have any. I got distracted.
And, you know, I can't have a full proper opinion on Bayonetta 3 because I haven't played it. But my general impression of it is it seems to me like it's like Xenoblade Chronicles 3, essentially the way that I felt about that game. Where it's like, you know, the gameplay is great and a good fun time, and, you know, the story has some cool aspects to it, but it feels more like things are turning out the way that they do just because that's the way the plot has to go rather than it happening, you know, as a direct consequence of the
When you really
character's
look
actions,
at it,
you know.
he's
Just
just
feels
an
like very
ex-athlete
forced and
who
convenient.
overestimated himself.
Still liking it though. Still generally like, you know, pretty good, but you know, not as great as it could otherwise be.
He
I
should have
will
just
eventually
accepted
make a
his
full
lot
video
and
essay on
quietly
Xenoblade
done his
Chronicles
job
3.
as a
I have
teacher.
some very I have a lot of things to say about that game.
It's not even an incident we can take seriously. The whole story is pretty ridiculous.
And from my streamer friendos that are into Bayonetta stuff, I've seen some divisive feelings over the
we
ending.
should probably look into it. But we
And I
can also
understand
just
why.
let the low-ranking scrubs handle it.
Your voice sounds kind of familiar as well.
Look into? I guess they're investigating Kamoshida? They don't sound
This
very
is the-
enthusiastic about it,
That's
though.
the Bayonetta 3 discussion. I don't know if there's anything else I have to say without actually having played the game myself.
Yeah, grab some food. Get the part that's not too fatty.
gonna be arriving soon. We don't want to keep them waiting, so we better get going too.
Yeah, get on
What
out
is he
here.
going to discuss with the higher-ups? Well, I'm sure it's more important than lunch.
They
If,
dressed quite well, but they still looked pretty shady to me.
if anybody's feeling unsatisfied with my Bayonetta opinions, because I haven't played the game myself, so I can't go into it in depth, and wants a recommendation of one of my content creator friend knows that can speak on it better, check out Jodo Johnny. He's gonna be able to talk about that a whole lot more. He has a whole bunch of videos up on his YouTube channel discussing various aspects of it. I've seen a couple of them. I haven't seen all of
The
them.
people here are reacting to the news.
But if anyone wants to, like, a
Let's get
streamer
some
friend
more
of
food
mine
and
to,
listen.
see better in-depth opinions on that, that's who I'd recommend there. So, who else are we listening in on? Get some more food and listen in. Rice dishes.
Rice is incredible.
I would
It's the
disagree.
cornerstone of every great meal.
I would disagree. In high school, I went on an optional Spanish class trip to Costa Rica. It was 1 week long, so 7 days, and we had 3 meals a day, so 21 meals. Out of those 21 meals, only 3 of them did not include rice and beans. Like, my goodness, rice and beans is such a staple over there, and I got so sick of it, and, like, rice has never been the same ever since basically living off of it over
Sorry.
there.
I got a bit carried away there.
I mean, I guess it makes sense, you know. It's a cheap and healthy kind of thing where Bob rice and beans there. You know, again, protein from the beans, and the rice is a pretty cheap thing. So it makes sense that it'd be such a staple and stuff, but man, I got so sick of it.
Ratings for the news
I never
were
liked
really
rice in the
good.
first place. And ever since living off of it for like a week, I especially
Because
don't
it was
like
about
it.
that teacher
Ever
who
since
sexually
then.
harassed his student, huh? Was it Kamoshida?
It's
But
all
even just
about how you
as
frame
is,
it.
I
You've got to
always
cater
found
to the
rice pretty
idiotic public.
tasteless, in my
Ratings
opinion.
go up when you show them crude, sensational news and make it easy for them to understand.
How can he be so insensitive? A student almost killed herself because of that Kamoshida.
Well, didn't we already establish that that wasn't covered on the news, that specific aspect?
By the way, do you think these sudden changes of heart might be real?
Well, that's...
Are we gonna get all these high-ranking business people to change their ways if they're doing evil stuff?
Quick, grab some food. Oh, and don't forget the crispy bits.
What a coincidence everyone just happens to be talking about all
because
this
he had a sudden change of heart,
same
he just confessed to all his crimes?
Who knows? Sorry, but it's time. I have to go. I'll call you again after the meeting.
We just so happen to be
Change of
talking
heart,
about this right beside the
Suppose
food.
I can't blame him for
A
seeing it
place
that
that
way.
you would think if you're standing around here that you're far from being done here. And it's just like, yeah, I'm done here, see you later. But,
Don't think there's anyone else we can listen in on.
yeah, clearly not.
But it's shocking.
Everyone else is
So
too
many
generic
of the
looking.
adults here don't seem like nice people.
We're gonna steal more hearts.
Now, according to what we heard, it seems most adults aren't very interested in the news about Kamoshida. Well,
They seem
now
pretty
that we've got
interested
a
in
nice
if they're all
variety of
talking
food
about
on
it.
our plates, let's head back to the others.
I think we have different definitions of interests here, Morgana. Right,
You
well,
brought a ton back.
heck yeah, I did.
What do you think about coming up against such ritzy food?
Ritzy. I'm so happy. I don't know.
It's cute hearing that from someone like you. Just don't get too excited. Got it?
You're the last person I want giving advice about that, Ryuji.
Don't you think you're eating too much, Mona?
There's no knowing when we'll get to come here again.
Sure, but you guys brought back loads of food. It'd be a shame to let it all go to waste. Why don't you help them out, Ryuji?
Oh, we should both help.
Oh, me? I'm way too stuffed. I couldn't possibly help.
Yeah, stuffing your face with cake. Whatever, let's deal with this ourselves.
Feels like no matter how much we eat, the amount of food we have always stays the same. Also, during that cutscene, I was just thinking of, I don't know why this suddenly came to me now. I guess, oh gosh dang it, it was still on auto advance there. You know how, you know, a lot of the time I'll do dedicated video essays on subjects to go in depth. And one of the reasons why I initially made the podcast playlist was to put stuff there that's more like discussions where sometimes it has to do with, you know, reacting to and discussing trailers or Nintendo Directs, or, you know, if we wind up turning some episode of a stream or some part of a stream into like a big discussion on some given topic, it can go into there. But one of the main reasons why I also made the podcast playlist is because there was a time that I thought about basically turning video essay scripts that never actually became full-on video essays into just like podcast like discussion things that just have, you know, minimal editing and just go into that playlist as a discussion kind of thing. It just now occurred to me, because I never played Bayonetta 3, you know, it wouldn't warrant having its own dedicated video essay when I can't speak to it, you know, all that crazily. But having just, you know, watched the cutscenes and stuff and, you know, seeing little snippets there and being able to offer an opinion on the story at least, that I could get into and could just do as like a regular discussion kind of thing. And that might be something that some people might be interested in seeing, maybe, right? Maybe, I don't know. That might be worth doing, where it's like, hey, we're not covering it on the channel, but for anyone interested, here's like my full thoughts on the story. Maybe. And that could warrant going into a podcast playlist. Maybe. I don't know. It's an idea. After discussing it here, and then just thinking about over that cutscene, it just made me think like, huh, that could actually be an interesting idea, right? Maybe, I don't know.
Let's keep at it.
Because I could throw something together like that without much effort, because, you know, whole point of podcast playlists is just like minimum editing. Just put over some generic gameplay footage and discuss things.
This is a victory.
Put together like a very simple script. I could totally do that for Bayonetta 3. This is a game to you?
No, not exactly.
Good job, you guys. How about one last dish to cleanse your palates?
If I have the
recommend
time, I will
seasonal
definitely
tart.
consider
The
it here.
grapefruit has both alluring sweetness and a tangy sourness.
Stop. I don't want to hear about sour stuff. This isn't good. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Well, me too. Please, carry me gently.
My, look at that table.
Come now, pay them no attention. I'm sure they must not normally have the chance to eat such exquisite food.
I can only imagine what their parents must be like.
What was that? We don't got time for that. Come on, let's go.
How very high class of them.
I'm stuffed.
I totally panicked when I saw the closed for cleaning sign at the bathrooms.
You were talking big about eating until you puked, but you really did puke. Are you some kind of moron?
Hey, same goes for you. What floor was that restaurant on?
We came up to get here, so it has to be on a lower floor, right?
What the?
There's still no update on the case.
Not
Who
yet.
does he remind me of?
Excuse me, but why are you so involved? It's not something you should be concerned with.
Man in a
I
suit.
don't care about your opinion,
Distinguished
you
man.
incompetent buffoon. When I say pick up the pace, you do it.
Hey, you're cutting in line.
What do you want?
You're here first. No, my guts needs to be at least bold to say that.
What do you want?
Apologize to Ryuji. Gosh dang it, I don't have the guts.
We're in a hurry.
Oh, I'm sorry. So you can butt in front of other people if you're in a hurry?
It seems the customer base has changed since I was here last. Have they started a daycare?
Where do I recognize your voice from?
Sir, we don't have time for this.
I know.
Wow, rude.
Don't bother with them.
That voice just now. Yeah, where do I recognize it from? Is he gonna be like our next baddie that we take down? He looks like the kind of person that would.
Guy.
Shouldn't we head back down?
Yeah, but that dick really pissed me off. He wasn't even hiding the fact that he looks down on everyone.
Don't lose your temper over this.
I just can't forgive shitty adults like that.
He's yelling it right in front of all these adults. That man's voice. Wait, that almost like the one from back then. Is he the guy that sued me for lightly shoving him?
What's wrong?
Don't worry about it.
That's just gonna make me worry more, you know.
I bet it's because he rarely eats well. I'm always stuck with canned cat food, too.
Yeah, that Sir bullshit makes me sick. Damn it!
What took you so long?
Why are you all pissy?
Sorry. I had a run-in with some woman a second ago. She bumped into me, but then said it was all my fault when she dropped her plate.
Sounds like a real bitch.
Yeah. Thanks, though.
But the restaurant workers all looked at me with this disapproving expression. I wonder if we're out of place here.
It always feels like this.
Hey, Morgana.
What is it?
Anyone could have a palace, yeah?
Anyone with a strong, distorted desire.
Same for them having a change of heart if their treasure gets stolen?
That would be the case.
Why are you bringing this up all of a sudden?
We had trouble earlier, too. These selfish shitheads who just look down on everyone else. I was just wondering if we'd be able to change those kinds of people, too.
You mean, you want to continue as the Phantom Thieves?
I've been thinking. We put a lot of work into changing Kamoshida's heart, but nobody believes in the Phantom Thieves. Plus, those guys who had no other choice but to just deal with it are thanking us. Us, of all people!
There are lots of victims.
I agree. If we ignore people who are in trouble, I'd go back to being the same as I was before.
Well, that's true. You're under my tutelage. There's nothing we can't accomplish as Phantom Thieves.
Shouldn't we be able to help him out?
I didn't even think of such a possibility. I mean, I did when I bought this game, but it's true that with this power, we may be able to help people, yeah. Let the game continue.
But that means we'll have to fight shadows again, doesn't it?
Indeed. That can't be avoided.
I'm sure we'll manage. Right?
I want to help people.
Even if you guys are still just fledglings, this means we're an actual organization now.
Yeah, we should register officially as a business.
That's actually pretty fitting for us.
I still haven't registered this channel officially as a business, but I've been
Alright,
meaning
it's
to,
settled.
soon.
We're gonna catch all these shitty adults by surprise and make
Better for
ourselves
tax
known to the
reasons
world.
when I'm reporting income on the,
Are you okay
on the
being
channel.
our leader?
More specifically the YouTube rather than the Twitch, but, you know, both kind of in general. Why?
No objections here? I can't handle all that responsibility stuff.
You didn't answer why.
Where's my say in this? But Lady An made the recommendation, so I'll allow it.
I'll allow it!
Should we decide on a name for our group?
I thought it was the
I just
Phantom
went with
Thieves.
Phantom Thieves of Hearts last time, but don't you think a real name would be cooler?
Ooh, I've got it. I want it to be something both cute and luxurious sounding.
Let me see.
How about the Diamonds?
I'm getting the real Little League Baseball feel from it.
Well then, here's my suggestion.
It
How
really
about
bugs me
Tilefish
how the
Poire?
textures don't quite match up on the
what?
corner of that table.
That's what I ate earlier. It's commemorative, no?
Oh no, you idiot!
There's a line where one texture ends and another
You
clearly
decide
begins.
for us.
Wait, you actually named the group? The heck? Excuse me? I don't know, maybe they do pay their taxes, maybe not. Are they not just gonna be referred to as the Phantom Thieves of Hearts in the game? The Phantoms. Team Enharmonic, is that what it's gonna be? It might be. This is the go-to a lot of the time. I don't know. Where's the, that? Sure. Ah! Hard to control. Sure. Referred to as what you chose, you believe. But I mean, like, with voice acting. That's what I mean. Because I thought they would refer to, like, Phantom Thieves of Hearts and voice acting. You know, is what I honestly, figured would happen. But I guess the group is never referred to with the actual voice acting ever again. Let's go with this name. Yeah, sure. I guess. Guess that's what we're going with.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, thanks. We used it for a lot of team names on this channel.
We going with that?
Long time viewers of the channel will know what it actually means. Yeah, if that's okay.
Well, now that the name's set, who's our next target?
There are tons of rotten adults and all. Why not just stick to targeting big names?
I don't know. Let's go after some wacky celebrity. Let's not even go after an evil one. Let's just go after one that everyone thinks is cringe
If we
or
go
something.
after some bigwig, it's gotta get on the news, right? Don't you think more people would believe in us if we did that?
That's not a bad idea. For you, Ryuji.
True. If we become better known, we might be able to give courage to a lot more people. I don't really like the idea of just picking someone out of the blue, though.
Let's narrow it
We're
down
gonna-
to someone we can
let's
all
use a
agree on
spinner.
that.
Oh.
So we need a big wig we decide on unanimously.
That bald guy
I
earlier.
like that unanimous decision part. It's like we're making some kind of pact.
Now then, this is the official formation of the
What?
Phantom Thieves organization.
Does our name even matter?
No! Our time for the buffet ran out.
Or is it just for funsies?
I guess we'll just have to talk more tomorrow.
Ah, we're going to the future again. So you ate at the buffet, did ya? I know you did. You had some good eats there. Spill the beans.
Another world in which people's distorted cognitions take shape? Stealing treasure to change hearts? And on top of that, a talking cat told you all this.
Yeah, I do some pretty heavy drugs.
Honestly speaking, that all sounds absurd. It's hard to believe that this is even worth listening to. Still, it can't be considered nonsense when parts of it align with Kamoshida's confession. The same goes for the testimonies of the officers who arrested you. But so be it. At any rate, you mentioned something more important. These two other accomplices, besides this talking cat thing that appeared in your story. From what you've been telling me, they're students at the same school, aren't they?
Wow, I just ratted out my friends.
Very well, I'll leave it at that. Let's continue on. The questioning's not over anyway. If you are making this up, the cracks in your story will prove it.
Okay, Phoenix,
The
right?
next to receive a calling card was this individual.
Ah,
a
our next
master of
target. Oh, it's not the
Japanese
bald
arts,
guy.
Ichiryusai Madarame.
I honestly thought
It's
it would be the
even
bald
more
guy.
incomprehensible than Kamoshida as to why this man was targeted. Where did you come to know him? And how did you learn of his crimes when you weren't a victim of them? Start
know,
by
it's the
telling me what you all schemed.
It's the first time I've seen him. Maybe he just confessed normally and we had nothing to do with that one. I don't know who that guy is. The story up to this point has been updated. Let's actually open the menu then select story from under the system option. Alright, so we concluded the first arc of the plot, right? And now we're starting arc 2, I think. Electric Boogaloo.